How are you?
Okay, the hour has risen, it is 11 o'clock, and we're having our, I guess, inaugural reinstituting of the Commissioners Court in this session. Let's go ahead and call this meeting of the Commissioners Court to order. Let the record reflect that this meeting has been duly called and posted. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, we want to establish a quorum. I do want to alert you that I did receive notification that the Butler will not be joining us today. He is attending to some personal family matters and will be away from us. With that being said, we want to acknowledge the guests that are present with us this morning, and we will move forward with the disclaimer. The Commissioners Court rotates a pledge of allegiance and an invocation led by commissioners. And if there's anybody that's listening, either by phone or viewing, possibly who does not want to participate in that, feel welcome to mute your line, or if there's anyone present, feel welcome to step out in the hall until we're finished, and you can rejoin us with that. This morning, Commissioner Marshall, will be taking care of the invocation and pledge.
Yes, sir, I've asked Jackie to read our invocation.
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we come before thee at the beginning of this beautiful day. We're indeed grateful for the weather that we have had the last couple of days. We thank you, Father, for thy bounteous blessings that thou bestowed upon us. And Father, at this time, our country and people are suffering, and we pray that thou would wrap your arms around them, guide them, help them feel the peace that only you can give. We ask you to bless these gentlemen and hear that conduct county business, that they might do so in a pleasing manner to thee. Forgive us where we failed thee, and we ask thee to be with all of our service members who are serving here and abroad, that they might be able to be kept safe and return home to their families. We acknowledge thy hand in all that is good, and we leave these with you in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Start with the correct flag. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's be seated. And if there's those who have muted their line or possibly gone out to the hall, rejoin us. Still no request for public comment. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
Okay, so that takes care of Roman number 1 on our agenda. If you need copies of the agenda, we have them right here. Feel welcome to grab a copy of it. We do not have any table items to acknowledge, correct?
Right.
Okay, so we'll go to our consent agenda. And Madam Clerk, do you have any minutes from the previous meeting that you wish to
I've been
take
trying to
action
catch
on?
up, so we have August 20th, September 13th, and September the 20th. I believe that's all.
August 30th.
Yeah, that's been a while since I came out.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. Second.
There's a motion with second to receive the minutes into the record, and that's the 20th.
For the August the 30th, September 13th, September 20th.
Very good. Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, because this is a consent agenda, we have the opportunity to set any of the items on the monthly report aside for discussion. Is there any that are wishing to be discussed?
I don't think ours was available, because Montgomery was trying to get ballots out. And the treasurer, I think, emailed, I think I saw hers, but hers was emailed.
All right. Is there a request to receive the monthly reports?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, aye? Okay, motion carries. There are no resolutions or proclamations that we take for under consideration today. That moves us to item 5 and A, budget amendment line item transfers. Commissioner Marshall.
Yeah. Do we have any done? No action.
Okay. We, of course, discussed this before, but we do have some items that still need to be addressed that are needing some attention. Okay, accounts payable. Mike?
Madam Auditor?
Yes. All the records.
Sounds good. Make a motion to pay county bills.
There is a motion, and a second, to pay county bills. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Any opposed or abstaining? And there are none. Takes us to item C, and let's see, Commissioner Blanchard, you have that.
Yes, sir. I make a motion that we award bid for demolition services for the GLO CDBG DR grant, Tyler County buyout program, and authorize the county judge to execute contract and or agreement. I think the only one we got is Lark. Second.
There's a motion with a second. And what was it, the, and,
Lark
really,
Grill
okay?
Inc. Yes, sir.
Any comments or questions regarding that? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Item D is appoint election committees. Commissioner Marshall?
Johnny's, do we have?
Yes, sir, we have 2 today. So Evie Jo Evans for voting precinct 4 is gonna do that one. And Donna Lee Davis is going to, I request that she be appointed for one of the, I could call them out of county polling places for the Coldstone School District. And we'll still lack one person.
Motion to approve.
Okay, there's a motion with a second. Comments or questions? All in favor, aye? Any opposed? And there are none. Motion carried unanimously. Item E, Commissioner Marshall?
Yes. Leanne, would you like to speak?
Sure, I would. We come up with these guidelines from our committee. Basically, just consider approve adding part-time seasonal and additional full-time employees as essential employees as a person that goes to pay out premiums, which would require the next steps that are listed there on this thing. I think before we can do any of it, all these steps needed to have been adjusted or moved to be done.
Okay, so action-wise, Commissioner Marshall, I guess the first step is the deeming of which part-time employees are essential.
Correct. I feel like any of the employees that work during this time would probably be considered essential.
Is it gonna still be, is it gonna be people that are still employed part-time?
Well, that's part of the,
So that's part of the, if I could, then number 4, the premium paid for part-time, temporary, part-time, and seasonal employees who became employed with the county anytime during the identified pandemic period between 3/30/20 and 12/31/20 at a rate of $2.18 per hour. That's irrelevant at this point. But that is what we're asking, or the committee is proposing, after we amended to take out the words still being employed with the county.
where we would need to go with that to amend our past court decision. You know, would we be able to do that this morning, what we have on the agenda?
That was for full-time, so all we're dealing with now is part-time. I don't think we're gonna have to amend anything, because this is totally separate. You're said, totally separate. What I see.
So we can just go with but now there are a few full-time employees that left, that's not still employed with the county.
Correct.
And work there in that time period.
Yes, so I think what we had discussed was that anybody that worked during that period, full-time, part-time, didn't matter, if they were affected by that pandemic period, that it would be feasible or possible or in our best interest to come up with a way to pay them as well.
So if we pay somebody that no longer works here, we don't have to hire them back to pay them? What about their retirement? How do you do that?
You just do like a pay.
I'm talking about the retirement account, whatever, so. We'll have to do where they earn pay from the county.
I think that, and I will call.
They have to turn it to the social security, to the federal.
Your taxes, yes.
Like, so they're gonna be like employed again, in order to get paid, they would have to be employed.
Well,
If we're gonna send a W-4 out, or W-2, whatever
I
it
mean,
is.
they'll have a,
So that's
yes.
like they're employed, so
They'll
that's
have
my
taxes.
concern, that we don't have to put them back through the system again.
they'll have taxes withheld. I don't think that the retirement part will be affected.
But on our policy, any part-time non-seat will be paid retirement on.
Correct.
So if we're paying them more money, then
I think it also depends on if they close out their account too.
right, so can they,
And that'd be a question that I have to call and talk to TCRS and ask them how that would be played out. Jackie, you have any thoughts?
I would just say if they're not currently employed, you just turn the retirement off and don't hold out retirement.
And that was my thought initially, that's exactly what I thought. Because the termination, I mean, they're separated from the county, and so they wouldn't have retirement. And if you.
Because all that would do is make them have to go through some hoops to get whatever we held out, and it wouldn't be enough to.
They just get a minimus amount,
But the minimum.
it's a minimus amount. And not worth either of our efforts, I would think.
As far as being a new hire,
I mean, I don't know about pushing them in the system or whatever.
well, they're already, they're in the system from being an employee. So I.
But they're not employee anymore, right?
But you can turn your master back on and on that service date section, put what it's for.
Correct.
And then, then inactivate it after the pay.
Because it's gonna be like a payout, like I'm going to actually have to do like a longevity, you know.
It would be no different if a person left employment and they were due time that they didn't get paid for, we have to come back and pay them. So we have to turn everything back on anyway. I mean, it would be no different than that.
Do we have a number of how many people are gonna be affected? Because we'll have to go back on full-time also.
We, at this particular, we come up with a,
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but we, at that point, we didn't have an exact number, we had an estimate, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it also depended on, what you guys come up with as far as your final formula. If you accepted, the separated employees or not, or if you accepted the part-time or not, or how you wanted to do it.
If we do want to no longer working here, we can't go back in the full-time, I don't think. We don't have that on the agenda, we have to put another agenda out.
Right.
If that's what, yeah.
For the full-time people, they're not still working for us.
No,
This is
no,
just
that,
part-time.
they're the ones that were started late in the year,
Right.
and they weren't included in the first pay.
For the ones that had retired, for the time.
Correct.
We'd have to come back with another.
Yeah, those full time, yeah, we have to come back. Today it's just the part time. That we didn't increase.
So I'd like to have a little more time to look it over.
You know, table,
I'd like a motion to table it.
Okay, there's a motion to table item E. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. That takes us to item F, and it's premium pay amounts for item E, it looks like, Commissioner.
Be no action on that. We're gonna table all of it.
Yeah, let's table it.
Okay, is that a motion? That's a motion, there is a second, all in favor, aye. And motion is tabled on item F, takes us to item G, Commissioner Marshall.
Allow recreational vehicles, RVs, to utilize space at the fairgrounds and set rental fees. They're having their, skydive event this month, or actually next weekend out at the airport. And they've been advertising for camping, but they didn't realize all the restrictions, ramifications, restrictions, whatever that the county has. I know we have areas where they've used, had RVs during the fair and stuff out there. I would like to be able to do that and set up something where we can cover our expenses for electricity and water that we use. So, and I know like over at most of the parks, it's like $18 a night or something there. And cover the water and electricity, so that's kind of what I had in mind, $18 to $20 a night.
Bring that forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion with a second. Comments or questions?
Problem I see with that is if we change the way we're doing business, start renting, we're gonna have to fall under our RV specifications, restrictions, regulations. So you were grandfathered in as long as you didn't do anything different beforehand. But
How do we do the ones for the fair? Do they pay?
they don't pay like fee for electricity, they pay for electricity for everything that's used. And we might have to look at that to see if we might have to remove those RV clubs, because they violate our regulations.
The regulations have an amount, it was up to.
Yeah, so we have 15
and
of them.
over.
We have 15 of them out there, Plugs,
And I can't remember what the.
I think it was 4. I think it was 4,
Yeah.
you know. But we might end up having to remove all of that. Spending or either bill stuff you get in regulations, we can talk about that.
Well, would this fall under that though, or just a one time bill a year or 2 times a year?
It's still rent, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's all over that. And I sure don't want to hurt the RV parks that are around that do that for business to make money. I don't want to take anything away from them. But I think we would want to trigger something if we start renting RV spots out on our RV regulation, rental regulations. That would be my concern about that. Violate one of our regulations.
Right. But as far as camping, do we have anything against somebody bringing a generator and their RV and staying in it? Out there?
I don't, there's nothing stopping it. I don't know any other country, on the other side.
Right, yeah, outside.
But I don't think we have any type of regulation. I think they probably want the courthouse square and she goes.
That's fine, I just wanted to be able to cover it. They'd already advertised camping, and I didn't want to come back and say, no, y'all can't have nobody camping. And and people show up here with RVs and not have a place to camp. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm certainly not trying to get in
Right, I don't think we,
the RV.
I think we need to set up a formal thing. But I don't think there's anything restricted camping or, we might need to, if we put this out there, might be full campers.
They won't be, they won't have access, they won't be able to hook up those sacks we have when they're electricity and water.
No, that'd be, Have Your Life, Fair, FFA, 4-H, and Dog Woods. One that had a, the general community and the youth, the nonprofits.
Yeah, I think the fair pays, break to the fair board and all that. And all that goes back to the kids. Last year, like 12,000 or something.
Well, then,
And that's the,
so how do we need to do it? If we're,
well, we gotta,
if we don't want to set rental fees, I mean, we can allow the RVs,
well,
or do we even not need to vote on it?
I wouldn't even vote on that,
So then I say no action.
Or we could vote, just vote no. Because it says allowed to use it to set rental fees is what it says.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any restriction on using it now.
Right, I don't know where it wants to vote on it.
So then just put the withdrew motion.
Second on that withdrawal.
Okay, so there's a motion to withdraw and a second on item G. All in favor, aye? Okay, and the motion carries unanimously for the withdrawal of item G for consideration. That'll take us to item H, Commissioner Marshall.
Yes, sir, we have, some air conditioning problems at the jail down there. We've been looking at trying to figure out the best way to go about it. We have a quote from Vance's AC and heating. We've already been nudged by the jail commission to getting this bid. So, it's something we really need to try to get on and get going. He had a quote for 2 units, the north and south jail AC gas package units. And they have to get a crane to set on top of the building, but the whole total deal was $48,960. That's for 2 12.5-ton units. It includes all equipment, materials, labor, crane, lift, and curb adapters. I put it before the motion.
Okay, there is a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Joe. There is a motion with second, and now comments, questions.
Is that gonna be coming out of the,
Interest.
Yeah, the elementary should, yes.
That's what I was thinking.
There's enough to cover that in
okay.
there, yes.
Oh, this is from Vance. So we're gonna go over the 50,000 a year we're paying for work on that. Do we need to go out for bids on this since it's so close to 50,000 and use it for other things? Is that
That's up to y'all. As long as it doesn't go above the 50.
the total cost for the year that we hiring for, or just one job?
Well, for this job, yeah, if you're asking when the auditors look if he does other jobs, when they see that his total amount went over 50,000, they will look and see what the projects were.
Okay, if they're not related, it won't have a problem.
Correct.
And, we could go out for bid, how our bid process takes a month or so to get it done.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I know we use it for those things, but if we can separate this job, get it repaired and maintenance that he's done.
I don't think many people would want to tackle this project either.
Oh, yeah, there's not many that want to work on it.
Any further comments or questions? Are you ready for the vote? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? And it was unanimous. That'll take us to item I, Commissioner Black.
I'll make a motion that we go into agreement with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department for boat storage at the Tyler County Nutrition Center.
Second. There's a motion with a second. Comments?
Can we put camera?
Well, I did run this by Eric too, so just, and they had an interlocal agreement, and they took that part out because we're not exchanging services. They just want to keep a boat or two out there for game wardens.
Any other comments? Are you ready for the vote?
Yes.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? And there's none. Motion carried unanimously. Item J, Commissioner Black.
All right, I'll make a motion of the certification of the American Rescue Act funds and budget pursuant to local government code 111.0106.
Second.
There's a motion with a second. Comments or questions? And this satisfies that requirement. True. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item K,
I make a motion of the acceptance of the county auditor's salary pursuant to local government code 152.031.
Second.
there's a motion with a second. Comments or questions? And there was no change. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item L, Commissioner Black.
All right, make a motion that we come up with a longevity payout formula for the Tyler County employees who have separated from the county.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion with a second. Comments? Stephen?
I just need them to tell me what the formula is.
Okay.
I looked at the two, and I like taking the total amount and,
Probate.
yeah, well, divide by 12 and then however long they're here, so. Yeah, that's the way I like it.
Any other comments?
All right,
Option two.
Okay. As far as just for the information, you want to just go ahead and say with the recommendation of exercising option two
Yes, sir, with the
with the motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Option two.
All right. So before you end is the longevity payout formula exercising option two, and that's the figure of the total amount of longevity the employees would receive for the current year's payout, divided by 12 months in a year to get the amount per month, and then multiply the number of months worked into the current year by the amount per month. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? And there are none. Item M is the maintenance spindle media tax collection software. As you know, Commissioner Hudson is not here. Mike, you want to go ahead and speak to that?
Well, I make the motion that we do the 2022 maintenance, annual maintenance for spindle tax collection service. Bring that forward of a motion.
There is a motion. Is there a second? Second. There is a second. Comments or questions?
Madam Tax Special Collector,
It's
it's the regular one, renewable.
Tax collection software.
It's the same thing we do every year.
Yes, sir.
Normal stuff.
Okay.
You need to vote.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? There are none. Motion carried unanimously. Item N, Commissioner Hudson also had that. Was there discussion about somebody bringing
Renewal of West online legal services for a 3-year period for the DA's office, is that? Yes. Bring that form of motion.
There's a motion with second. Comments or questions?
Who made the second?
Me, Jay. Ms. Gibbs, do you want to speak?
Not really.
It's the same,
It's just, yeah, it's just their online case law.
we don't have five books anymore, right?
Well, we still, yeah,
Okay. Easier to research.
yes.
Okay, are you ready for the vote? All in favor, aye? Any opposed? And there are none. Motion carried unanimously. Item O, Mr. Fletcher.
Make a motion for online investigative services from 8/1/21 to 7/31/22.
Second.
There's a motion.
Sheriff, would you like to speak to that, sir?
Yeah, Commissioners, just real quick, we've been, this online investigative service we've had the past couple of years, and we've just done a renewal each year. You'll notice here it doesn't have a renewal, the company's changed hands. So we come back before the court and, you get that approved to go with this new company. I believe it's TransUnion is the new name of the company. We have the money within our budget, it's about $1,300 a year to use departmental wide. And Don can speak a little bit about the availability, the way we use it, if you will.
It's what we call TILO. We use it for backgrounds. You want a person's name, it'll show the registered vehicle, addresses, phone numbers. So we use it for criminal and hiring process also.
We got about half the sheriff's office here with us. All the ones that are reported.
We just ask that you, we simply ask that you consider that, approve that renewal, that contract, if you will.
That's really polite.
Hey,
Okay. Are you ready for the vote?
Yes, sir.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there were none. Motion carried unanimously. Item P.
Yes, sir, that's policies and procedures for submitting budget amendments and line item transfers to court. Bring that in the form of a motion.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? Okay, there's a second. Comments or questions? I have a comment. Why are we even doing this? Why are we doing this?
Submitting to court,
Creating a policy for budget amendment line item transfer.
so everybody will understand how it works and we can all flow the same way. And the auditor is notified of the transfer, or the need of the transfer. Make sure there's an item and money in there for that.
It just, I mean, the law pretty much speaks to that as far as,
It has to go to the auditor, or the auditor.
well, the language in there just seems kind of unusual. I wondered if it came about because I brought up the budget in discussion last month, and there were some that were offended by it, and now we've got a policy or procedure.
I think the problem was that the people that make those line item transfers were not notified of that. So the court approved something that the agency that takes care of that didn't know that that was happening. So this way that the request goes to the agency that makes the transfer and then it's brought to court.
Well, I would request that my office be removed from that language on that. Be my request.
Why would we do that?
It seems like it's, you know, if you look at it, that county judge or the auditor notifies the official informally. I mean, we own this thing. I mean, we created, we funded, and we distributed. I mean, we're not gonna talk about it in court, we're gonna talk about it behind closed doors. I mean, I'm comfortable with having a conversation with any of the officials that want to talk about which line items that they would move from one place to another to balance the line item.
Well, I think you're taking it personal. It's not. And I think we need to have a system that we all follow. I don't think one office ought to be separated from it or anything else. I mean, it needs to be straight across the board.
Well,
May I speak?
Yeah. Please.
The practice, we've got policies and we've got practices. The practice has always been that people come come to my office. I notify them, or if they know of an expenditure that's gonna make a budget item go over, they contact me and we prepare it, and when you take the wording informally, is we have to set it up and get it ready to be approved in court. It's not we're trying to take anything behind closed doors and keep the public from knowing, but we have to get it prepared. The last court, there were 2 budget amendments and line item transfers that were prepared, not by me, not by my office, and my office has to be the one to know about it. And I don't want to be blindsided in court by people just turning in their own budget amendments and me not knowing where it's coming from, or who said, or the official said that was okay to do that. That's the only reason that this is here.
We've heard my request, so is there any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Uh,
Motion carried. Item Q, Commissioner Stewart.
renewal of the Irish services, bring that form of a motion. Second.
There is a motion with second for the renewal of the Irish services through, I guess, emergency management.
Ken had talked about another service, but we got the renewal from Iris, so I put it on there just in case. And I haven't talked to Ken to see if the other service was what he wanted to do, so you really don't have to do anything. I just put it on there for Ken's benefit.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, there's a motion on the table, and there's a second. All in favor, aye? Okay, motion is tabled. Takes us to item R, and that's the architectural services.
Proposal for the architectural services of the Beach Architectural Group Incorporated for Phase 2 of the restoration and rehabilitation of the courthouse. I bring that in the form of a motion.
There's a motion with a second. Okay,
We have Mr. Leach here with us, who might want to give a little more information, but he's came up with a plan for the grant money that's available through the Texas Historical out of Austin, commission out of Austin, and has a plan for that, and will handle everything that, as far as how all that works, he will make contact with them and get that rolling. Mr. Leach, is that pretty much correct?
Yes, sir. We have a list of items that we wanted to do, and we did the work that we just finished. So that is moved to the new list. Trying to take care of some interior things that we wanted to take care of.
Christie High.
Number 2, most important, sorry for that. Most important thing is to go on and address the rest of the windows on this building and the repainting of the building and fixing of any of the plaster that's cracked and falling off, those kind of things.
The water damage.
Right, water damage. The next sort of thing would be to address all of these window units that we have, so get rid of those window units, go back to these type of units that we've been using in the courthouse, so that we can fix those windows, because many of the windows are deteriorated to the point that I got to totally rebuild the window, because the damage has been done by the window units. And then, lastly, trying to get the bell tower put back on the courthouse. I have made contact with the original people who made the bell and shipped the bell here. I've got the original records of those things, and the next time they have someone coming to work on the bell in the Houston area, they're gonna send someone over here so we can take a look at the parts and components that we have stored. And that would be part of that bell tower, putting that bell back together so it can activate again.
In our matching funds that are required for this grant, the state's gonna allow us to use what was not required on our other project to count towards it. And we should be pretty close to the money amount of the extra things that we did with the ADA bathroom and stuff, where we get pretty close to what the required match is.
Yeah, I think that we're good on that, because we did spend way beyond the amount that was required for work to be done in this building, so we should be good there.
And will this be covered with the grant that we're getting?
They're going to get that, historical, Nichols, laughed at for, but I think Nichols initiated, but yeah, it's $1 million grant, like that we have to spend. Our matching part was like 153 or 170. Yeah, and, but they allowed us, the state allowed us to use the money to spend on our 8-week vaccines and our extra work that we did that was not required to count. If we go ahead and do it now, just keep continuing on, we'll be good with that. And we'll get expensive on their money now.
And in order to get that money, we have to have a plan, that's what.
Yes, sir. Get the plan and get it approved by THC, just like we did the last time. So a very good reputation after this, this completion of complying with THC, so we're going to be smooth as silk getting that through it. They're all.
Thank you for everything you did on this.
Thank you. It's nice for us to be back in this room without actually having to see them.
Right. We can see the concrete floor.
And the sunlight's nice coming through this room too.
Okay, any additional comments regarding the proposal in the center packet? Are you ready for the vote? All in favor, aye? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item S, Commissioner Wright Fletcher.
I make a motion to deputize 2 employees of the district clerk's office. Ms. Cruz, did you second?
Okay, there's a motion and a second, and the clerk of the district clerk.
I have 2 new girls, Ricky Gully and Kaylin Hope. We all know who Ricky belongs to.
Boy, do we.
I'd like to explain why I have 2. When our last district clerk, Cheryl Pounds, retired, when she left, that left a hole. And then plus, I had 1 employee move on. And so Kaylin took her place and Ricky is, just the hole that Cheryl left. But anyway, that's why I have 2. So, and they're really going to be good. I'm really proud of them. So they've not run away yet. So, but I will be deputizing them today.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? And motion carried unanimously. Commissioner Fletcher, item T.
Make a motion, adding the county veteran service office to the donation list of jury reimbursement per SB 456.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Comments or questions?
Will this cover the whole county or just on district court on all juries?
I don't know about Bonnie's, is it does yours as well?
Covers everyone, okay, so we.
Yeah, I've always wondered why they never allowed that. Last year I was saying, what about it done with the veterans? Put them in there and it's just wonderful that they have. Like to support it.
Additional comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carried unanimously. That took us to item Roman numeral 6, any comments by court members pertaining to matters of county government?
Yes, sir. We should have our building at the nutrition center this week. So, we kind of got put back a little bit, but, and also, just I was gonna ask you, if you had any details of the money that we're supposed to be getting from the GLO. I know y'all have meetings recently. And, you know how any disbursements or what they're gonna do with that?
Are you talking about Harvey monies?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe like 22 million, another round or something like that.
There was 60-something million,
Yes.
and then a match of that.
Okay.
The GLO has not issued a contract yet, but county judges have met, and we were charged with the responsibility of determining the method of distribution. And so the method of distribution is going to be a set aside for every county. And I'm thinking it was 7 million. And then that's the base. And then the second part of it is 3 parts, and that's the amount of population, the low and moderate factor, and then also the damage. So It was about 2.5 hour vigorous debate among 7 county judges as far as that, but they came up to that consensus that that would be the distribution. So right now, we're just waiting for that money. Also, that second tranche of money to earmark for each of the counties to contribute collectively to the broadband work that's going to be going on in these 7 counties. So try to build up that portion of it.
That's a town thing.
Okay,
Kind of good.
all right.
Renee.
Yeah, I forgot, and I want to let y'all know that, in November, we're gonna have 2 jury trials as of right now. And we will be holding them in the courtroom, we're not gonna be going to the nutrition center. Our cases were laid down, talked to Ken Joe yesterday, or not yesterday, but Friday. He said we're down to about 13 cases, so he gave the green light, so we get to have.
We'll have to travel now.
That's right, that is right. So we'll still be offering face masks and masks. We will be doing temperature checks, still. But, yeah, we're gonna have it before, so I'm very pleased with that, and I want to let y'all know.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for county government? If not, there's no executive session, where, anybody?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to second. All in favor? Tommy, so you have.
I don't make it. Stephen,
It may be that, yeah, it may not be that.